This is the Mystflame electric fireplace recessed 88 inches, and my honest first impression was, wow, this thing changes the feel of a room the second it lights up. It stretches across the wall like a long black piece of glass art, and when it's off, it has that sleek black mirror look. When it's on, the flame window feels huge and cinematic. Key features that stood out to me are the slim 5.96-inch depth, the cool-to-the-touch tempered glass front, the choice between crystals and faux logs in the media bed, and the adjustable 750W/1500W heater that's vent-free and blows warm air out the front. From my experience, installation is where your patience gets tested. The box is long and awkward, and even though the listed weight doesn't sound extreme on paper, the glass makes it feel heavier because you're so careful not to flex or twist it. I would not attempt the lift alone. Hanging it like a TV with the wall bracket is doable if you find studs and use the right hardware. I went into it ready to wall mount, and I still had to plan cable placement so the power cord doesn't dangle. Recessing it into the wall is the premium look most people want, but here's the catch. A standard 2x4 wall is too shallow for this depth. You either build a bump out or use a 2x6 wall to get the unit flush. The rough opening size in the manual makes that clear, and once you measure an actual wall, you immediately see why people do bump outs. If you're aiming for that clean, built-in look, factor in framing time and, in my opinion, an electrician to either hardwire or put a recessed outlet exactly where the cord needs to go. Once it's on the wall, the fun starts. I tried both media options and landed on the crystals for daily use. They scatter the light from the Ember bed in a way that feels upscale and modern. The faux logs give a softer, transitional vibe, but they looked more decorative to my eye. The flames are LED-driven and bright, with multiple flame colors plus top-down accent lights. The way the lights layer on the crystals creates depth that makes the chassis feel deeper than it really is. In a dim room, the effect is gorgeous and cozy. In a bright room during the day, the glass can get reflective and wash out the flames a bit, which is common for large flat glass panels. I ended up dialing down overhead lighting and letting the fireplace do the mood lighting in the evenings. Control-wise, the included remote handles power, heat levels, flame colors, and a timer. There's also a touch control strip along the front glass that lights up when you tap it and then fades away. I like that it disappears because I don't want glowing icons competing with the flame. In my opinion, the remote is fine but not perfect. It uses IR, so you need line of sight, and I ran into a funny quirk. My TV remote sometimes triggered the fireplace because the signals seemed to overlap. I fixed it by relying more on the touch controls, and when available on this line, a phone app. My unit supports Smart Life over 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, and pairing took some tinkering because my home network merges 2.4 and 5 GHz under one name. I had to use a temporary 2.4 GHz network to get it connected. Once paired, the app control was great for scheduling and precise color adjustments. If your specific model is remote only, the experience will be simpler, but you won't get automation. About the heat, it's a 1500W max heater, which equals about 510 BTUs. That's the cap for a typical 120V circuit. It's perfect for zone heating, taking the edge off a living room, bedroom, or office, especially within 6-10 feet. In a big open area, I'd call it a comfort boost rather than a room heater. The listed coverage is around 450 SQFT, and I think that's reasonable if you're not trying to raise the temperature by a huge margin. From my experience, the sweet spot is setting the thermostat to a target number and letting it cycle. The fan has a soft whoosh you'll notice in a quiet room, but it fades once you have the TV or music going. I appreciate that the heat vents forward instead of straight up, so the TV above it isn't getting cooked. The glass staying cool to the touch is also reassuring if you've got kids or pets wandering by. I like that there's a built-in timer from 1 to 9 hours. It's a simple feature that stops me from forgetting it's on. The overheat protection is there too, and it's one of those safety nets you hope never kicks in but you're glad exists. On maintenance, the glass is a fingerprint magnet, and dust will find the top vents. I keep a microfiber cloth nearby and vacuum the vents gently when I notice buildup. If you ever need to clean inside the glass, it's a two-person job to remove it safely. That's just the trade-off with a giant piece of tempered glass. As far as the visual experience, I love the flexibility. With the crystals, I tend to use cooler flame tones and a white/blue ember bed for a chill vibe, and warmer tones when I want that classic cozy feel. The flame pattern is clearly synthetic if you stare at it long enough, but it's still satisfying and calming. I've had people walk in and immediately comment on how good it looks. The combination of width and color control makes it feel high-end without needing a gas line or a chimney, and in my opinion, that's the whole point of a linear electric unit like this. It's perfect for a media wall with a big TV, a modern living room that needs a focal point, or a renovation where you want the look of a premium linear fireplace without the construction and code requirements of gas. I'd recommend this for homeowners comfortable with basic install work or willing to bring in help for the recessed setup. If you're tight on depth, consider a bump-out design. If your room is huge and you want serious heat, this isn't a furnace. Think ambience and supplemental warmth. From my experience, the biggest stressor was the physical install. Measure twice, plan your power, and have a second set of hands for the lift. The daily use after that has been simple. Power on, choose a flame look, set a temperature, and let it do its thing. On days I'm working from the couch, I use low heat to chase the chill, and it's perfect. On movie nights, I turn the heat off and the flames still do their job, adding atmosphere. If your unit supports app control, it's worth using for schedules and color tweaks. Just be ready for that 2.4 GHz pairing step. In my opinion, the Mystflame 88 nails the modern, linear aesthetic, and the value sits in the design, scale, and customization more than raw heating muscle. The glass is beautiful but reflective in bright light. The remote can be finicky around some TVS, and the fan makes a gentle noise. None of those are deal breakers for me given how much it elevates the room. In conclusion, this is a stylish, wide-format electric fireplace that delivers big visual impact, straightforward supplemental heat, and flexible install options. If your priority is the look and the vibe with safe, easy electric heat, it's a strong pick. If you expect it to heat a massive open space by itself, you'll be disappointed. I'm happy with it, and I'd buy it again for a media wall or a large living room where design is the star. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more videos like this and drop your questions or your own setup tips in the comments. Thank you for watching.